That Washington football team is really fucking good.
Everything we do is going to be about winning. Okay, we're going to learn to do things the right way, and that's the only way we're going to do them. Because if it doesn't help us, we're not doing it, man. That's just as simple as it gets. Win the Super Bowl. That's I mean it, too. You know, one of the things that the only reason you become a head coach in this league, in my opinion, is to win. That's it. That's the bottom line. If you do it for any other reason, you're wrong.
Hey Washington football fans, welcome back. Before I start the video today, can I go ahead and ask you guys to hit that subscribe button down below, turn on the notification bell, so you can hear my takes on predictions of the game, possible team building strategies for us, what I think of players, and, you know, what I think about how the season's going. So, yeah, if you want to catch all that, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and everything down below, and if you like the video, please like the video. So, in the preseason, I went over how our defense matched up against the way we thought the Bills' offense would look. Since then, though, a lot has changed. There are elephants all over the room. First, Josh Allen isn't looking like the world beater he was last year. He's looking more like the middle-of-the-road guy that makes questionable decisions from 2019. Now, I don't think this is like a permanent regression from him, but I think coming into week 3, it's perfect timing for us. The other elephant in the room, though, is on our side. Our defense hasn't looked like the destroyer of worlds we all expected it to be coming out the gate. That all said, I think it's actually looking a lot better from our end, and it's kind of the perfect storm for us to actually win this game. We're in a position to execute a similar defensive game plan that the Steelers used, but with a better offense to support it. And that's the Heine key to victory. Sorry. I had to do it. But let's talk about that defense first. So, many Washington football fans and people in the media all over are reacting, overreacting to how our defense is performing through the first 2 games. People are blaming the pass rush for not getting home, while others are trashing the secondary, giving up plays. Nobody is giving any slack for the fact that we have a ton of young players on the field and a lot of guys that are just new to the team. On top of that, Landon Collins is also basically new to the defense after, getting injured early last season. Our secondary is basically Kendall Fuller and the new guys. Cam Curl's in his second year, but Bobby McCain, William Jackson III, both new to the team. Ben St. Juste is a rookie. And like I said before, Landon basically new to the defense. All that considered, I think these guys are playing great. We've only had one really bad miscommunication where the secondary was completely out of place. Maybe we aren't playing quite aggressively enough for some people's taste, but for the most part, our guys are where they're supposed to be. When everyone gets used to it, and they gain their confidence, I think it can be, something dominant. We are right on the cusp of that. Herbert and Jones played ridiculously good games. The plays they made would have beaten anybody. And Ryan Fitzpatrick playing that first quarter and a half cost us that Chargers game. So through 2 games, we have contested 28% of the throws against us. That's 5% higher than any team in the NFL through the first 2 weeks. Any secondary. Name a secondary you think's great. We're contesting more catches. And that means our defenders are right there in perfect coverage, but they've just been put in unwinnable situations. Herbert having perfect placement to Allen and Williams. Jones playing the best game of his career, putting balls in to Kenny Galladay that were just unstoppable. The secondary is already where they need to be. I think they're really gonna start making plays. I think you combine how our secondary is playing, just narrowly getting beat, but being, in perfect position, with the fact that through 2 weeks, Josh Allen has the second most negatively graded plays at the quarterback position so far. And you got Justin Herbert and Zach Wilson kind of stinking it up a little bit. And still, Josh Allen is second for, most negatively graded plays. The Bills' offensive line also not good at all. Bills are the second worst pass blocking team in the league. And every player on their offensive line has given up at least 5 pressures through 2 weeks. 5 pressures per player on the line. Not a serviceable offensive lineman in the bunch. That spells upset. That's before we talk about our D-line and the offense. This D-line is hearing the chatter. Chase Young is hearing the chatter. I think what's caused the quiet showing from him through the first 2 weeks was the risk of, a mobile quarterback and a premier running back. Devin Singletary, he's good, but I don't think he'll garner the attention that Eckler or Saquon did. I think Chase is going to come out and play like a man on fire, and that's what we really need for this defense to click into place. Our guys are going to devour this offensive line, and Josh Allen along with it. Josh Allen's going to make bad decisions. He makes, he's going to make more of them the more he's pressured. A secondary that's been in the right place but narrowly beat by perfect throws now has a lot of chances against ill-advised throws. Pittsburgh played a lot like we have been playing to beat the Bills. They didn't blitz like they normally do. They played zone defense, and they limited Allen's deep throw. It's kind of how we've been playing. We've been practicing that game plan for the first 2 games, and it's perfect against Allen. We're getting more natural at it, and our D-line gets more pressure on its own, I think, than Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh tends to blitz a lot. I think we get more natural pressure from our linemen. And I think it's going to cause some turnovers. And it's going to end up with more sacks from Allen holding onto the ball, trying to make something happen. I think the turnovers will help give Taylor enough chances to put enough points on the board to win. I really think this is a game that will be an elevator up for us and one down for the Bills. Along with our defense being perfect for the job, I think our offense with Taylor will be able to do a lot more against the Bills' defense than, the first 2 teams they played. Now, these guys have a really great secondary, and through 2 weeks, I think they're leading the league in sacks, but they played against 2 of the worst offensive line quarterback combinations in the NFL. Steelers, everybody knew coming into the season they were worried about the offensive line. Kind of just because they beat the Bills, they kind of like, oh, maybe the Steelers aren't that bad. It's still a bad offensive line. And then Miami got Tua destroyed immediately. So they've been against, crappy offensive lines. Sorry. Truth is truth. They've been against bad offensive lines coming out the gate. That's why they're looking so great. We played the Giants, and the Giants look bad on paper, yada, yada, yada. But the Giants only gave up 2 sacks to Von Miller and no interceptions against the Broncos. The Broncos have a really good defense. So maybe it's not we played low. Maybe it's the Giants are better than we all thought. So either way, and then the Chargers probably have the most improved O-line in the league. And we still got pressure on both those guys. Now we're going up against this horrible Bills offensive line. And I think we're really going to work them over. Our O-line will be the best one they've gone against. Taylor is also playing better than Big Ben. He's playing better than Tua. He definitely has better protection than Tua. Buffalo's been blitzing Matt Milano a lot. And if they do that, I see Gibson and McKissick having a big day. I think we finally might see Jarrett Patterson get his first regular season snaps too. Logan Thomas, you see a big uptick in his targets from that too. From Matt Milano blitzing. I mean, that's their best coverage linebacker. You send him in, and then Logan's going to be able to eat behind him. I really think our defense, like I said, will force a couple turnovers. And I think that'll really give Taylor a chance to spread the ball around. I think their secondary and pass rush are just good enough that we're going to do most of our business with runs and short passes. I know, coming from the Alex Smith era, y'all don't want to hear that. But if Taylor can win a game like that, I think he's for real. He showed us he's got the clutch gene. Now we need to see if he can be consistent and win with short plays and some ball control. I know that might sound insane to some of you guys, the idea of beating the Bills, and especially beating them in a way that isn't Taylor scrapping to the end and snatching a win in a nail biter, sounds unbelievable. But that's just how I see us getting the dub. We could get some turnovers and see Taylor throw some wild stuff because he's playing with house money. But I think him playing a controlled and measured game, along with this defense finally coming together, will go a lot further for Taylor's case as a franchise quarterback and for this team looking like a real contender. It fits exactly what Ron was talking about after the draft when he was talking about the kind of quarterback he wants. Build a team well enough that you don't need a quarterback to carry you, because that's way more volatile. You just need a guy that can make plays here and there when you need them. If Taylor can show us that he can grind out a game when we're shutting it down defensively, then that answers all the questions outside of health for me. So yeah, man, I think we're going to put it to the Bills. It's crazy that they're like 7.5 point favorites. I feel like the odds makers weren't really looking at what's been going on so far. They're just living in last season. But yeah, I think we're going to win this game. And I think it's going to be, because of the turnovers, I think we're going to end up, back up around 30 points. And I think we're going to keep Josh Allen. And I think we're going to beat them by 10. I think we're going to beat them by 10. And that's a huge swing from 7.5 point favorites to losing by 10. but I think we're like perfectly designed to do it. Just look at the Steelers game and then add in the fact that our quarterback is playing a lot better and our offensive line is better. And I think we're going to beat them by 10, 30-20. Yeah, 30-20. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Am I nuts? Probably, but I really think that how bad their offensive line is doing, the horrible things Josh is doing, how good we're actually playing when you kind of take everything, when you look at it objectively. I think we got this one, guys. And this is going to, everybody's really going to go off when we do this. You're going to have a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, well, the Bills actually just suck. When it should be, man, Washington's legit. But, yeah. If you guys like the video, please like the video. Subscribe, comment. If you made it this far, I love y'all. Peace.